What's the word? What's the word? It's your boy Norbs, and I'm here, and it's the 10A podcast, and some more interesting revelations or have occurred. I'm actually live right now, and we're just gonna get to it. So let's start this shit off. Shakur Stevenson still at it like a crack addict online, going at everybody, even threatening cats, talking about "I'll see you in the streets. You better be strapped because I'm gonna go there with y'all." Shakur Stevenson, what dog? What's going on, man? You my guy. I really fuck with you, dog. But come on, baby, come on. These guys, it's just words they saying to you, man. I definitely feel Shakur is definitely not handling this very, very well, and this is not where you want to be in life right now, dog. Like, you don't want to be sitting here arguing with cats that have never laced it up, like you said, but you're continuing to bring it to somewhere that is not going at Tim Bradley. Listen, I get the whole conspiracy stuff. Now you're talking about teaming up with Floyd Mayweather. We all know what that's about. Possibly trying to get you to to get that tank fight. Possibly helping you build your brand up like he did Gervonta, but it's not a similar situation with Gervonta, and I think that's where it ends. Let's just say you go out and get Floyd. You go with Floyd, right? That may actually work against you to get that fight because of the beef with um with what's his name with Floyd and Gervonta. Gervonta is very adamant about never putting another dollar in Floyd's pocket, and you're out here trying to pretty much um team up with what we would call his enemy, his rival. You know what I mean? Gervonta does not hold Floyd Mayweather in high regard whatsoever. And it may be a huge mistake for Shakur Stevenson to go with Mayweather promotion. I just don't feel like it's a smart move. You know what I mean? It's just not a good move if you're Shakur Stevenson. And I believe, in just my opinion, if he wants this fight, he's going to have to really start stepping it up. And now apparently he said both his hands were damaged in his last fight. It's excuse after excuse. Now I will say this: I've seen Shakur be more offensive minded prior to these last two fights. When he fought Peterson, when he fought Oscar Valdez, he was good. He was really good. I feel like he controlled the ring. He did what he had to do, and that's Shakur Stevenson that I would pay to see. But this Shakur that we're seeing today, the last couple fights, is not gonna get him the Gervonta fight. You know, to be honest with you, and I think it's a huge mistake. I think it's a huge mistake if he were to go and sign with Mayweather Promotions. I just feel like signing with somebody that uh, is pretty much beefing with Floyd. I think it's insane. He said both his hands were hurt. Prior to the fight, he said everything's going to be different. He's not injured. Blah 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 blah. And that was an excuse. Listen, I'm not doubting that he was hurt, and and this is the crazy thing. And I'm not trying to knock Shakur because I believe in Shakur. I think Shakur is possibly the most talented boxer out there right now, especially at 135, 140-pound division. I think he's a better fighter than Shakur Stevens. Than Gervonta Davis. That's what I believe. I believe he will beat Gervonta Davis. That's what I believe. Having said all of that, the way he's handling the things outside of the ring are turning people off. You know what I mean? And he's going to turn a lot of people against him, a lot of influential people against him. The entire situation coming at Mason Cam was uncalled for. He was out of pocket. Yes, you got to understand when you're in a similar limelight, you have to understand when you put yourself in that position, people are going to critique you, good or bad. Michael Jordan was critiqued. LeBron James was critiqued. Tom Brady was critiqued. These guys, that's what it is. It's not going to be all good. You know what I mean? And I feel like people don't, Shakur specifically, doesn't understand what he's putting himself into. And then when you're talking slapping people and, doing all these things and putting out allegations, I seen him put some stuff about Mace out there. Listen, bro, At the end of the day, Mace said it best. Just go in the ring and entertain. It's not personal. You're entitled to have your opinion. I don't believe they attacked him. I believe they just gave their opinion and he just didn't like it. These guys are entertainers. These guys are individuals who draw traffic and a lot of traffic. And Shakur could do better with just pretty much just letting it fly. You know, and it's just one of those things. When you're in that position, that's what's going to happen. You want him to bring tank. It's a difference. No, I don't have a horse in the race. I just believe he's the better fighter than Tank Davis. I believe he is just better. I believe he's fought better competition with Oscar Valdez, and I just feel like he's somebody that Gervonta is going to try to avoid at this point. I don't think Gervonta believes he can beat him either. Just being honest. Now, I have my criticism about Gervonta. I have my criticisms about Shakur. I think as talented as Shakur is, he needs to do more. He is that talented that he needs to be more entertaining, especially when you're talking that talk. And listening to Mace and listening to Cam, they made a lot of sense. We don't want to hear about the sweet science. We want to get entertained. You can be you can be a great fighter and do everything in the sweet science and still be entertaining. He has not been, and that's something that he has to look upon himself and understand. Like, listen, Shakur, you're a great fighter, but at the end of the day, if you want to get paid like a Gervonta, like a Canelo, like how Floyd was paid, you are going to have to let them hands go. People are not going to, and listen, Floyd took his fair share of criticism, specifically towards the end of his career when he fought guys like Maidana the second time and ran, or Guerrero, or these fights were just boring. But he also, prior to that, and when he was your age, was letting his hands go. That's what made people love him. Floyd was a very great offensive fighter and put on shows. Diego Corrales, Arturo Gatti. You have yet to showcase that ability to get people to really tune into you. And that's why Gervonta is going to continue to avoid you. Because, yes, you are that good. You can beat Gervonta Davis. But you're also easily avoided because people are not going to want to see that fight, especially at the fight that you're fighting right now. And that's just being honest. I know people are like, oh, you're crazy. Tank is this, he's that. Listen, Tank is a talented fighter, but let's not act like right now that he's fighting the best competition. He's never seen anything like a Shakur Stevenson. That's just facts. And it's going to be a different fight when they fight. Now, will Gervonta be able to force Shakur to hit him more often or to fight more? Absolutely. That's in his best interest. But I believe that Shakur has it in him. I believe that Shakur will beat him and will be the underdog in that fight. And if they do fight, I believe he will beat him. I believe Shakur beats Lomachenko. I believe all of this. I believe he's the best fighter at 135 pounds when he lets his hands go. You know what I mean? Who has he seen on Tank level? He's seen better competition. I believe Oscar Valdez is better than anyone that Tank fought. That's just me. That's how I feel. You know, I feel like he has everything that can do it. Listen, I get what people are saying, but in regards to how boring he is, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Shakur has the ability, he has the talent to take it there, to go to the next level on guys like this. Is he better than Tank? Yes. I think Shakur Stevenson is definitely better than Tank Davis. Yes, he is. I'm sorry, he is. I believe he has the ability to go. Now, does he have the heart? And I think that's what people are going to start questioning at this point, because they're saying, oh, he doesn't want to engage. He doesn't want to do this. That's what people are questioning. And I think Shakur may be hurt in these situations. Maybe he is hurt. I've seen him be more offensive-minded. Is he going to be a knockout artist? Absolutely not. Can he stop you in fights? Absolutely. He's done it before. I've seen him go crazy. And that's just being, listen, let's be honest. He beats all of those guys that Tank fought. He destroys Rolly. He destroys Pitbull. He beats Ryan Garcia. He beats Devin Haney. I see him running into more problems once he gets up to like 147, which he eventually will do. And that's just being honest. You guys can knock him all you want. He's boring. He's this and that. But Shakur Stevenson is the answer to Gervonta Davis at 135. And I believe Gervonta knows that. Gervonta's not going to bully his way to knocking Shakur out. Shakur is he has the best IQ in boxing. Okay, he said the best boxers are finishers. Okay, I mean, so you don't think that Shakur can finish people? Listen. I wouldn't say you could say the opposite. Boxers, a boxer will always be the puncher. That's just how it goes. To be honest with you, in the history of boxing, and I'm just being honest. And I think Shakur has that type of ability to defeat anyone at 135. I believe he's the best at 135. I believe he will conquer, win all the belts at 135. Um, I think he'll go to 140, beat everybody at 140. I think his best fight will be Tiafimo. I think that'll be a great fight, but I think Shakur still wins. Then I think he goes to 147, and possibly that's when you're going to run into guys like, and not even that, because Boots is probably going to be out of there. So I feel like he's going to have a long reign. Now, is he going to be the star that he wants to be? And this is the one beef that I have with Shakur Stevenson. I believe that he is entitled. He feels entitled, and I think that's what turns people on. That's what turns people off, about Shakur. Tank does not destroy Shakur. He doesn't. I'm sorry. He just doesn't. He doesn't beat Shakur Stevenson. I believe Shakur beats him. You can date this podcast. You can date this episode. I believe Shakur will beat Tank Davis if they fight. And I think it will be a unanimous decision. And it will be Shakur's best showing. That's what I believe. I believe Shakur's that good. Having said that, he is not, what's the word I'm looking for? He is not, he's going to be critiqued. He's going to be critiqued. His level of talent is what's going to get him critiqued. He's just that good. You shouldn't be that good. And that's something he has to realize. You are that good, Shakur. You are. Your level of fight is going to be judged differently than anyone else's. Somebody said Shakur is Puerto Rican. No, it has nothing to do with the fact that he's half Puerto Rican. Shakur is the most talented boxer at 135 and up, 135 to 140. He is. He surely is. People aren't going to run at the opportunity to fight him because it is very difficult to hit that man. He is very, very intelligent. And he's stronger than what people believe. It's not easy. Of course, it's got to be a race thing. He goes, oh, he's Puerto Rican. He's half Puerto Rican, guys. Yes. That is not the reason that I'm picking him because I continue to destroy Edgar Berlanga on here. And he's Puerto Rican. I don't care. I'm calling it. I'm being nonpartisan in this situation. I'm calling for what it is. Shakur beats Tank Davis if they fight. A lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, you're crazy. Tank's just going to finish him. He's not. Listen, Shakur is not Rolly. It's not Frank. It's better than all those guys. And it's not even, it's a huge gap between those guys. Shakur is that special. He really is. Whether people want to admit it or not, he is. And his peers are going to criticize him heavily. Even guys like, he called out Timothy Bradley. I don't agree with everything Timothy Bradley says. And is he paid off by ESPN or by Top Rank? Whatever. But at the end of the day, it's this. Shakur, you can't look at yourself in the mirror and think that was a great performance or entertaining for the expectation levels that we have for you. The expectations of what we have Shakur is what Shakur is going to continue to fight. And that's just what it is. Call it for what it is. People want to he wants to complain about it. Hold on. That's just what it is. Shakur is that guy. So all the guys that Shakur fought is better than Tank. I didn't say that. Where did I say? You know what's crazy? And this is what irritates me about Tank fans. You cannot say somebody can beat Tank. It is impossible. Tank is the best thing since sliced bread, but he's never really beaten any champs. Guys, isn't the goal of boxing to become champion? To beat champions? To unify? You've been at 135. You should have been unified. You should have been fought Lomachenko. These are all facts. And listen, again, I think Tank is talented. Don't get it messed up. I think Tank is definitely talented. Barrios, come on, man. Please with Barrios. One guy. Come on, guys. Come on. You had Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. You had Ryan, took forever to fight him, and we all know Ryan was the weakest. They fight to get money. Okay, so you're telling me Shakur wouldn't be a bigger fight than if he fought Frank Martin? You don't think he would have sold more pay-per-views? Like, come on, bro. If it's about money, Shakur is the biggest gamble. Are you serious? Stop, Diesel. Stop. There isn't a bigger fight for him at 135 pounds than Shakur, unless he gets a Ryan rematch at 140. There isn't a bigger fight than Shakur. Stop it. Pitbull, come on. Stop. Stop it, guys. The biggest money fight that he has right now is Shakur. Now, hold on. Let me bring my guy on. The legend.
So
the most handsome boxing podcaster alive.
What's up?
Marco, what's up? Marco, your man Shakur's getting a lot of criticism, man.
Who? Say what?
Your man Shakur's getting a lot of criticism, man.
My man?
That's my man. I like Shakur.
That's your man.
I like Shakur. I was just saying, Shakur, as much criticism as Shakur is getting, he will beat Gervonta Davis in the fight. That's what I said.
Get the fuck out of here.
We can put a bet on. Listen, we're gonna make a bet, okay? If they fight, okay, Shakur, right, and Gervonta, right? I'm just telling you, you have to wear a wig of my choice for your next episode right after the fight.
Not happening. I'm not betting on anything. But
you're not gonna bet?
I never bet. But this is not happening. Nah. I mean, it's possible because it's boxing, obviously, but I say 80%, 80-20, Gervonta.
Jesus, really? Mm-hmm. Stops him. He's not stopping. He's not stopping Shakur. He's not stopping Shakur.
And if Shakur decides to slap on his rollerblades, then yeah, he might have a problem finding them. But if he stands in front of him like he did with Artem,
yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I as much and people are basing a lot of stuff over the last couple fights that Shakur fought. He's saying he's injured. I don't know if he's injured.
He might have been injured the last fight, but this one,
he says
I've never seen a fighter commit to staying in the pocket, right? Stay toe to toe, commit, do it the whole fight, and yet somehow be even more boring and get hit more than we've ever seen. I mean, being in the pocket will let you get hit, okay. But I don't know how to work, man, but
I don't know what I just do. Hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, you were saying? Do you hear me?
That? I hear you. I don't see you.
Yeah, but I feel what you're saying.
See you, right?
Yeah, and I had to turn back my camera. My fault. I don't know.
Okay, we still can't see you though.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I can't even. I'm hearing you through my. Oh, that's why. My fault. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. You hear me now?
I hear you. I don't see you. Oh, there you go. You're back. You got that.
What I did was I got upset at you. Nah, my camera's fine. You see the clarity on this shit? You see the rolls underneath my chin. Yeah, it's pretty good. But I get it. I get what people are saying, and this is my thing with Shakur, and I wasn't really talking about the Gervonta fight. I do believe that he will beat Gervonta Davis. That's just me. But I feel like the criticism, he's not handling it at all well. I feel like he's not handling it well, and he's turning people off to even a possibility of that fight. And his performances are not forcing Gervonta to take that fight. He's going to be easily avoided because he's not. People don't really believe he can win.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. This is how you know that he knows he looks like crap. When he starts going at Cameron and Mace and doing all this that he's doing, you know that he feels a certain way about his performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. Somebody was looking. He went right online. Let me see if people said I look good or bad because I'm insecure about it. So let me get confirmation. Absolutely. Oh, everybody's shitting on me. Well, fuck them. Let me go back at them. How about looking in the mirror? But see, that's something a 25, 26-year-old, it's hard for them to do.
Yeah. What's up, Ash? No, listen. He definitely needs media training. And then he's going somewhere where it doesn't have to go. You're talking about, when I see you, make sure you glove up. I'm going to slap you. I'm going to take you to the street. And in my head, I'm sitting here like, bro, like, You're going somewhere that doesn't need to go. When you're, and this is the crazy thing, he's fighting against expectation. We expect a lot more from Shakur Stevenson, period, than any other boxer. And that's just the facts. We're as talented as you are, and as much as you talk, and as how highly touted you are, you're expected you're expected more. It is what it is, and he does not handle the criticism well at all. Even when he does interviews, he sounds like a jackass.
Well, there's a lot of criticism because of his style.
I've seen him fight. I've seen him have way better performances. I don't know what the hell's going on
Against
in the last
whom?
two fights. I think, was it Lamont Peterson he fought? Was it Peterson? Not Peterson.
He fought Jamel Herring.
Yes, Jamal Herring. That's why I keep saying Peterson.
Valdez,
it was a good
right?
fight, and he stopped him, and he fought Valdez, and he dominated him. Those are really good fights. Those are really good performances.
Yeah, but you know,
good
Jamel
competition.
Herring is a blown up lightweight?
Okay.
Not
Still had a
even,
good
excuse me,
performance.
no, featherweight maybe.
And how about Valdez?
Valdez was a good victory, from
Very
what I
good
remember.
victory.
Yeah.
Very good victory. These were really this is when, if you take these last two performances, people would want to see that fight. People would probably be 60-40, 60 in front of favor for Tank and 40 for Shakur. But right now, nobody believes it. I said Lamont Peterson. I kept messing up Herring's name. I don't know why. My fault. But I believe he has all the skill. I don't know, and this is what I'm questioning. If he's not injured, then you got to question his heart. To be honest,
I don't question his heart. Why do you question his heart?
I mean, he doesn't want to get hit. I don't think he wants to exchange with
What are you
anybody.
talking about? He stood in the pocket and got hit the whole fight.
You think so?
What do you mean? He did.
His biggest criticism that he was skating. That's what they were saying.
Not this fight. This fight, he was getting hit a lot.
So what do you think? What do you think is his issues right now?
He has no power.
He doesn't have power. No.
He refuses to let shots go in more than one or two punches at a time. No combination punching.
Yeah.
And he's always in neutral.
Explain that.
Well, he's always the same. Boom, 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 boom. There's never. He's never. It's always like right in the middle.
He kind of fights, and this is the crazy thing. He kind of reminds me. I won't say reminds me. He doesn't throw a lot of. He reminds me of an older fighter. Like they're not as quick anymore. They don't want to throw as many combinations. Like Canelo picks his shots, but he can do that. He has the power.
And his accuracy. Something about when Floyd settled down to be Pretty Boy. Excuse me, to be Money Mayweather.
Money May, yeah.
When he settled down to be Money Mayweather, he did a lot of in the pocket. First of all, his defense was visually better. He would roll.
Yeah.
He would engage.
Yes.
The fighters
he would bait
throw,
you.
and that would be exciting to watch. Shakur hops out of the way, so they just don't throw. Most of the fight is them chasing him. But when Money Mayweather would land shots, he'd be so precise, and it'd be clean and snappy shots.
Mm-hmm.
Shakur's are almost always half blocked, or they have so little pop on them where nobody's head snapping back at all.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, very safe. And the reason why I think he's getting scrutiny from me specifically is he talks a lot about himself, but it's not even him. There's something in the industry, in the boxing community, where everybody, supporters, talked about him like he's going to be the next Floyd or James Toney, like he's quote unquote different. Which I mean,
but he came in highly touted, like really highly touted.
But why? Why? I never saw it. I saw that he's a good fighter, but the talk. Here's a problem with boxing. Every single person wants to be in the presence of one in a billion greatness. All of us want to be like, yo, I see this guy. I'm telling you, in 5 years, he's going to be the one. Yeah. All of us want to be the ones who lived through a Muhammad Ali, or you and me lived through a Roy Jones. We all want to be that. Yeah. So we're all looking for that way too fucking early. Okay. And I never saw that in him. I saw that he was good, even a champion level, but I didn't see 1 in a billion like people are talking.
I mean, so let's call Paulie Malignaggi believes he's the best fighter. Period. At this point, he says there's nobody going to beat him at
That's because
135 to
Paulie's fought
140.
like him.
Come on, he was a better fighter than Paulie. Stop.
He is, but they had similar styles. No
Very
power,
similar.
no power at all. Pop, 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 moving around.
He doesn't sit. He definitely don't sit on his punches. That's true.
They're very similar. Now he's better and he's different, but they. Okay, let me put it this way: all the things that Paulie got criticized for, so is Shakur. So of course he's gonna fucking defend it.
I mean, I see it. I just feel like there's something that he's, and I don't think it's physically. I think he has all the tools. I don't think he's the biggest puncher, but I believe he can translate to dominating from 135 to 140.
His defense is not good in the pocket. That was proven. His defense is good when he moves. That will erode with age. It won't be near. That's why Floyd has such longevity. I know
in the
this
pocket, he was a great defender.
Yeah, you know how much less in the pocket defense, waist dependent defense is. How much less energy it burns than with your feet. You can't keep doing that shit when you're in your 30s.
So what do you think about him teaming up with Floyd? He's adamantly been speaking about it.
It'll help his career because Floyd does that. Floyd helped Gervonta's career tremendously. I know a lot of it was Gervonta's power and excitement, but Floyd, I want to say Floyd's 50% of why Gervonta is as big as he is now.
Okay, that's a fair assessment. But again, and I think people tend to forget this. Gervonta was knocking cats out, whether they were scrubs or not. He was knocking cats out. I think Shakur, and this is what I think Shakur teaming with Floyd. If he would take Floyd as a trainer, maybe helping him with certain things in the ring, I think that would help him. As a promoter, I think it's going to make it more difficult to get that Gervonta fight, simply because Gervonta doesn't want to put $1 in Floyd's pockets. So I think he may be going into that situation thinking that he has a better chance of getting that fight. And I think it's actually a worse chance. But I do think as a trainer, I think maybe Floyd can help him.
I mean, I got to be honest. I don't really care about seeing Shakur fight again.
What? So see, this is the crazy thing.
But I didn't before either. I didn't just jump on this bandwagon because of his last two fights. I never saw it in him. I never saw him being, again, let me be specific. Not that he's not a champion or a great fighter. I never saw him being must-see, top of the heap of this generation. Never.
And you know what's crazy, and I agree with you in regards to the business aspect of it. I don't think he's ever going to be a big seller. I think he's going to, like, for instance, when the Top Rank offered him the 5-year deal or the 5-fight deal at $3 million, right? I thought that was a fair offer because he doesn't really sell like that. He's not exciting like that, and he's gambling on himself. But offense sells tickets, bro. Let's be honest. Mike Tyson sold tickets because of his offense. Floyd at one point he took all the big fights and he was offensively gifted at one point. Then he kind of changed over. He doesn't have the sexy appeal in terms of knocking people out. And I do agree with you. I don't believe he's going to reach that status of a Gervonta. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely with you. He won't.
I think after seeing what somebody with high punch volume, and unconventional angles, after seeing the success that Artem had, even though he clearly lost, I think Loma beats Shakur. I think Loma's angles and footwork, and Loma on top of all that, look, between the two of those guys, they couldn't crack an egg with a mallet. But Loma can punch.
Loma can punch.
So I'm not saying he's the hardest puncher, but he definitely.
No, he can correct. Yeah.
I see Loma I think Loma beats Shakur. I think Tank beats. I think Devin beats Shakur because he's bigger. Look, let's not forget, Ryan is not Shakur. Devin, first of all, Ryan, it might have been the drugs. We don't know, but let's say it wasn't the drugs.
I think Ryan still beats Devin without the drugs.
Maybe, right? You're probably right. Actually, I lean, but I know that we don't know. For all we know, the drugs could have made Ryan faster and stronger, and that's what was the difference. But for all we know, it could have done nothing. It could have been trace amounts, and it didn't do shit. But either way, a powerful super fast left hook explosion is what beat Devin. Shakur doesn't have that. So I don't think Shakur could beat Devin. I think Devin's physical advantages, his superior genetics over Shakur. I
It's
think
about size.
he's
I don't think
bigger,
he beats
the way he fights styles. They're,
I think it'll be a good fight, but you know what's crazy? And as much as you say he doesn't have power, I think he beats Devin right now. Clear. I really do believe that. I don't think Devin is. I think Devin is good.
Unless Devin lost a big piece of himself from the Ryan fight, that's different.
Yeah.
But Devin, this Devin doesn't have a chin thing that people talk about. Is you can't go by one fight.
He's been tagged a couple times, man.
He was tagged once by Linares, who's a very hard puncher, wobbled a little bit. See, there's a problem with people who don't box, especially. They see one person get wobbled once or twice.
It's true.
Or even go down once or twice, and they start saying, well, he doesn't have a chin. In boxing, every single fighter, all your favorite fighters, or everybody watching, yours, Norb's, mine, they've all either been wobbled or down in a fight or in sparring a couple times. That is completely normal. When it starts becoming not normal, when it starts becoming a weakness, is when it happens.
Like Terry Norris.
Yes, a bunch of times. So this now Devin, you could think might not have a chin because of what Ryan did, but that's just one fight to me. And that fight is questionable because of the steroids.
So right now, Shakur, do you feel like Gervonta will take the fight? Because he is trying to unify right now. Do you feel like?
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, I see why he wouldn't want to take it because Shakur's boring and he'll run. But this might have made Tank think, oh, if he stays in the pocket with me, that's what I need. But I don't think he'll do that.
No, I don't think he stays in the pocket. I definitely agree with you. And I'll be honest with you, if the Shakur shows up that fought the last two fights, I believe he'll go to sleep. But I just feel like Shakur.
Not the last two. If the Shakur shows up that fought De Los Santos, I think he might even beat Gervonta because he could stay away.
I hope not. I'm not gonna lie. That would be extremely disappointing.
It'd be boring, but it's a win. Like bop, hit him with a couple of jabs, pump some jabs, and just run the whole time. But one thing Gervonta showed me against Frank Martin, which is what I took from it, I didn't take the power because we know the power's there. He cuts the ring off very well.
Yes, he does. He does very well.
That's the battle. Is his ring cutting off skills superior to Shakur's bunny rabbit hopping? And I'm not trying to say disrespectfully, but literally like fast like a rabbit. Like he can hop in and out really quickly. No.
Listen. I definitely feel where you're coming from. And I'd still want to see the fight. I definitely. I mean, there is no bigger fight for Gervonta at 135 outside of Shakur and Loma.
Loma looked great the last fight.
No, Loma was phenomenal his last fight.
As a matter of fact, Loma would be way more money, I think. I think Loma draws way more, especially with his international fan.
Yeah, I believe so. I think those will be the two fights. After that, it's nothing really. Unless it goes to 140, something like that.
I think the most exciting fight in boxing, one of them, Teofimo versus Tank. That would be fireworks.
I am dying to see that, but
That'd be fun.
And you know what's crazy? And this is one thing I love about Teofimo. He'll go down. He'll go up to fight Crawford. He'll go down to fight Gervonta. A lot of people give Devin a lot of credit for that, and I do too. But you got to give Teofimo his credit too. Like he wants to smoke, bro.
Yeah.
Teo wants to smoke. I would love to see Teofimo versus Tank. I don't believe Tank will take the fight right now, to be honest. But that's a fight that I would love to see. You know, people, my man Diesel says, Teo is inconsistent. Yes, but in the biggest moments, he looks extraordinary. When he fought Loma, when he fought Josh Taylor, he looked amazing. I mean,
nobody's perfect. You know what I mean?
Nobody is.
And you're right. If Teo does, but that's the thing. Teo is proven to fight to the level of competition.
Yeah.
So if he does that, then we could be guaranteed an excellent fight, a top-notch Teo against Tank.
Now, this is crazy. I'll tell you right now. I mean, The one thing about Tio that's really impressive is his athleticism. There's not many people as athletic as Gervonta, and I think Tio kind of matches that. Like,
Both
to be
those dudes
honest,
backflip off the top rope,
bro, they fly
like
in and out
Superfly snook off the top rope.
100%. But the big difference to me is, and this is just me, I feel like in regards to not the little things, but like things that a lot of people think cutting off the ring or like the technicalities, I think Gervonta actually has them over Tio, to be honest with you. In regards to like his
don't
ring
know, man.
IQ, I think his ring IQ.
I think it's pretty close. I think the difference is
I think he got the ring off better than Tio.
Gervonta hits harder,
Yeah,
but Tio still hits very hard.
yeah.
Tio is faster by a little, not by a lot.
He throws better combinations than
I was going to say that
Tio,
but Tio's combination punching is far superior.
Yeah,
but again, it'll take Tio 3 or 4 to wobble or drop somebody. It takes Gervonta uno.
Just one, yeah. But that's that fight. This is another thing. Then that's like you're saying. Like, I feel like Tio believes he could beat him one, and I feel like Gervonta, when he fights people that can crack a little bit, he's a little more hesitant, and Tio can crack, and he will take rounds, just like he took against Loma. So I mean, if I had to favor somebody, I would probably still be favoring Tio in that fight. But I really do believe Tank. He's a
You favorite Tio over Tank?
Yeah, I do. I always did.
I was gonna say you're on your Puerto Rican shit, but I forgot Tio's Honduran.
It's like fucking Honduran. Nah, bro, it's like, somebody said that about Shakur. Listen, I really am a fan of Tio. Like, I really like Tio a lot. I don't think his power's been translated to 140 going up to 147, but at 135, he was putting people out.
Yeah,
he was putting people out.
Yeah,
and he has a size advantage over Gervonta.
I'm actually doing a video right now as we speak. I'm going to drop it. The greatest Puerto Rican fighter ever, Hector Camacho versus Tito Trinidad. I'm going into who was better.
Hold on. First and foremost, you disrespected Miguel Cotto.
I'm disrespecting Wilfredo Benitez, Rafael Gomez,
Rosario. Like, dog,
but I talk about that in the video.
Dog, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Now, and those two are the biggest superstars. I think that even Camacho was bigger than Cotto in his peak.
Oh, he was definitely bigger than Cotto.
I think Camacho and Trinidad, right? Those are the biggest Puerto Rican superstars.
Let's get into that. So let's fast forward because this is actually a good segue. I watched an interview with Edgar Berlanga. He's one of the 3 options for Canelo, which is absolutely insane to me. Terrible, right? And he compared himself to Camacho.
I know. I heard. I know.
Do you understand that I wanted to take my laptop and slam it against the wall at least 4 times?
Here's the thing, though, and this is defending him a little bit. Kind of not his fault in a way. He started off, 12, 13 and 0, all first-round knockouts, right? Which I don't know if that's ever been done.
Yeah, 17. Yep.
I'm sure it has been, actually. You know, dudes fighting in Nebraska, fighting, steel mill workers or whatever. But he had Fat Joe, Tracy Morgan. He had all these celebrities blowing smoke up his ass. So it's like, what are you going to think, really, when you have all these people giving you so much adulation?
But it's fake. He's from Brooklyn. It's fake. Once he loses, I want to see Fat Joe walk him down the aisle. I want to see that. And listen, let's keep it a beat. And this is what I'm going to say about, first of all, this guy's bugging out. He said Miguel Cotto's biggest victory was against Paulie Malignaggi. Please don't disrespect Miguel Cotto. Please do not. Like, let's not be stupid at this
point. His victory over Margarito is bigger.
It's way bigger. Like, Miguel Cotto was one of them guys. Ask Floyd Mayweather. But let's talk about Camacho, right? And Edgar Berlanga. This is what irritated me about it. He was like, everybody's pulling up, all the Puerto Ricans and saying they want to see that fight. Never. The difference is Camacho was a legit superstar before social media. Period. Can you imagine how big Camacho will be today with social media? Do you understand how big Camacho? Bro, when he fought Julio Cesar Chavez, which is what you're chasing trying to fight Canelo Alvarez with the Mexicans, Puerto Rico, people wanted to actually see that fight. That was one of the biggest fights in the world. Not in New York City, not in Mexico, in the world. Nobody is clamoring to see that fight. You haven't done anything to win that fight, to earn that fight. So when I heard the comparisons, I was sitting there like, dog, come on, bro. Beat somebody. If you would beat Caleb Plant, we can maybe start having a conversation. But to compare yourself to a legend,
Yeah, I don't
it
think
was
Berlanga. I don't even think he wins a belt.
no. I'm with you. I don't think, bro. And that's what gets me tight. Like I'm like, come on, bro. Like I want to cheer for him. I want to because he's Puerto Rican. But come on, bro. And it's all cosigns from Fat Joe from Trinidad. Nobody's sitting there. The people are not calling for you to fight this guy, and that's just the facts.
Yeah, there's a video. There's an interview with Berlanga. Who's he talking to?
I forgot who's talking. I know. I think which one? The one where he was talking about the Camacho shit, or
He was sitting down,
yeah, that's the one.
and he just how he was talking, he was delusional.
Yeah.
But then I started thinking, yeah, but what would I think if I'm 23 years old and I have all these celebrities telling me I'm the greatest and I have fans trying to get my autograph? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a fine line between delusional and like, I don't know.
He's not the best Puerto Rican fighter either.
No, of course not.
Period. Like it's just crazy to me because he's trying to sell it. Like nobody's actually calling for that fight. Nobody. I think more people would rather see him fight Caleb Plant than Canelo at this point. And that's just being honest. Fight anybody, Morrell. Fight Munguia. And I don't think he beats any of those guys. I think he gets stopped.
I mean, somebody just said, what do you say? Come on, Danny Garcia, third.
Danny Garcia's
wilding out. You ever heard of Wilfredo Gomez, Wilfredo Benitez, Carlos Ortiz,
Rosario,
Jose Torres? Come on, get out of here with this Danny Garcia shit.
Yeah,
Danny's a good fighter, but he's still active too. You can't put a still active fighter in an all-time list.
I give Danny. Danny is definitely the most underrated Puerto Rican fighter of all time. That I would say, underrated, yes, because he's not from the island.
I mean, who did he?
He's fought a lot of good fighters. I mean,
he has a generational talent. So I have my way of ranking fighters. It's all subjective. Boxing's all subjective, but
yeah,
I call him a generational talent, meaning for his generation, he was one of the best in his weight class.
Yeah,
right. Generational talent. Then you have Hall of Famers, which is one step above. Then you have legends. Then you go into like one in a billions, like a Roy, like a Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Danny was a generational talent, but I think there's a lot of Puerto Ricans. But I also never ever include active fighters in all-time great lists because we don't know.
Listen, Danny wasn't expected to be what he did. Like to be honest, you know what I'm saying. And I feel like Danny's had a really great career. He beat Zab. Zab was done already, and he beat Paulie. Paulie was done as well. Paulie was never, and no disrespect to Paulie, but he was never at that level like that. Tito Trinidad is the best Puerto Rican fighter. But I was going about the Berlanga situation. He's one of the three options for Canelo, right? I think the other one is Charlo, which is probably not going to happen. And the other one is Chris Eubanks Jr. None of those options are very exciting to people. I think Charlo's the biggest challenge. But I
think those guys are done, both brothers. I don't think they're going to fight anymore.
You don't think so? No. I mean, I think Charlo might take one more paycheck just to take it and just run. But those are the three options we got right now for Canelo. But it works if it's leading to the Terrence Crawford fight possibly in November, early 2025. That's the rumor going around. What do you think about that being a possibility? And which of the three options are you more excited to actually see or deserves a shot? I don't like the Chris Eubanks fight at all. And I don't like the Berlanga fight at all either. I mean, what's your take on it?
I like Eubank.
Over Berlanga
and who?
And it's Charlo.
Charlo and Berlanga are not. I think Eubank's the only fight I'd want to see.
Okay, why?
Because Eubank he's an older fighter. He's experienced. He has good speed, good power, good experience. He's a big dude, tall. Like it won't be a size mismatch.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I'd want to see out of all three of those.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what we got right now, but it's apparently leading to the fight versus my man Terrence Crawford. And if you don't think it's happening,
no,
that's what they're saying. They're saying it's a tune-up fight for that fight.
Canelo has come out and said it numerous times. Literally said it. I'm not fighting Crawford. unless Crawford knocks out a middleweight and a super middleweight of note. And now at this point, it's not Terrence is just a little guy coming up to dare to be great. It's he's a legit force at 168. Canelo's not going to fight him.
I don't think he has that much time being the age that
he doesn't. That's why they're not going to fight.
You know what? I would agree with you a while ago, but I do think there's a possibility. I believe so. And how much I heard Canelo say it, but I mean, I just if he's to take Berlanga in September, and that would not be leading up to a Crawford fight, I would be so pissed at Canelo because I feel like for that I'd rather see anybody else at this point, and it just sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, but those are the options we got right now, Marco.
I mean, we'll see. I don't want to, we'll see. He might take Berlanga because it's a payday, easy fight, Oh
my God, man. If he announces Berlanga, I already see the promo. Berlanga said he had his own float at the parade. People were going crazy. I'm like,
did he?
I don't know. I didn't go to the parade. It's too crazy. You know what's crazy? The last parade I went to, you're going to laugh. Camacho came out. This had to be like in the 80s. And I kid you not, I think my uncle took me there. And when everybody was there to see Camacho, I think he was the what do they call it, the leader of the parade. If there's somebody that's supposed to be the biggest parade, and he was there. And Camacho came out. He had the thing going on and all that, and he started doing the crazy flurry of punches, and the whole building went like not building, but everybody in the street was going absolutely crazy. I don't think people actually understand how popular Camacho was. And you said you're dropping a video. Who was the greatest Puerto Rican fighter between Trinidad and him?
Greatest Puerto Rican fighter, Felix Trinidad or Hector Macho Camacho. And then I'm just going to kind of outline some stuff about each of them. Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't got Miguel Cotto there. I think Cotto's resume was definitely better than Trinidad's.
No. Trinidad only lost 3 times, and each loss was to naturally bigger men when he went up.
He should have lost to De La Hoya.
He should have, but still, that was close.
Roy Jones, which was way back.
Bernard Hopkins, and Winky Wright, all bigger men. Yeah.
Winky Wright was underrated though too.
And Camacho and Trinidad's resumes are surprisingly similar. They both popped off their careers first 11 years, not losing once, going around 40-0 each of them. Both are 2 division champions. The difference is Camacho's a little bigger. So even though they did fight each other, by the way, you probably forgot.
Yeah, Camacho was like 50, dude. And Camacho I think that was the first.
There's an 11-year age difference. Yeah, Trinidad was 21, Camacho was 32, and 32 back then was old.
Yeah, and you're talking about 32. Probably did about 15 kilos of coke by the time he was.
He was also pro at that point for like at least I want to say 15 years.
Yeah, I mean,
he turned pro in like 79 or 78, and this fight was in 94. So
I'll tell you this. In terms of the greatest, that's arguable. I think the argument should be the most beloved in between both of them. I think Puerto Rico definitely loved Trinidad more because he was from there. But I think New York Camacho's always going to have every New Yorker.
I think Camacho was born in Puerto Rico. He just moved to New York.
Yeah, but he was more considered a New York fighter. I mean,
like he still had a Puerto Rican. He still had a Spanish accent when he spoke.
Yeah, dude,
he was born there.
No, 100%, bro. And I remember going to Puerto Rico. He used to live by my, I think one of my uncle's houses, and I was out there. He had he had a boat that said Macho Man, Macho Time or whatever. And I remember seeing it. Like, Camacho was really that. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say who was bigger.
Maybe I could just say, wait, let me see how I worded it. I think maybe I'll just say who's the biggest Puerto Rican superstar boxer. Maybe I'll say some shit like that. I still got to figure out the wording.
That's really close, bro. It's
really close, but if you look at their resumes, Camacho has a better resume.
Sugar Ray,
he beat Duran. He's the only man to ever knock out Ray.
Yep.
He beat Duran, but look, also he lost to De La Hoya. But all his shit was when he was older.
Yeah.
But Trinidad's losses too, most of them when he was older, and they were also at higher weights. But I think Camacho just caught more wreck while he was in his prime.
Bro, Camacho, and I said this the other day, and I was just like, bro, like he was like an anomaly. Like he was he. I don't think there's ever been a Puerto Rican fighter to fight like Camacho, ever. Like his
Camacho,
style was
people
crazy.
forget Camacho at super featherweight or at lightweight. Come on now.
Sleeping people, dog.
He
He
had
was
power,
different.
speed, all that.
Yeah,
So, but that's the thing, Trinidad never fought outside of welterweight except when he fought
he went up to fight
two
Winky White.
fights at middle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, different weight classes.
Man, that's a good argument, man. Who's more beloved between Trinidad?
Who was a bigger superstar? That's a better way to put it.
I think Camacho was, and I think it was because the English. He spoke English, bro. This guy
Camacho
was
was
on
able to
everything.
grab the Americans more so,
Absolutely, bro.
and the
Like
Puerto Ricans that don't speak Spanish.
bro, Macho time was so crazy, bro. Like, did you watch the documentary on Showtime that they had?
Yeah.
Bro, like I was mesmerized by it. Like I'm like, bro, like I don't think people actually know how crazy Camacho actually was, bro.
He
You
was
know what I mean?
nuts. I have actually one of my biggest watched videos that I have, 4 million views, I think, is about Camacho.
Yeah, I seen that. I forgot what it was. I think it was breaking him down or something like that. I forgot what it was.
It starts off showing him doing this, and then
Dog, and he
I
was
got
a
Fat
southpaw.
Joe commented on that one. I got
No
Rosie
way,
Perez.
bro.
Mad Puerto Ricans commented on that one. Yeah.
Bro, like I'm telling, Camacho is my favorite fighter of all time. In fact, my one of my peoples is like my cousin. He created a Macho Camacho hoodie. It's the one where he walks out with the Indian feathers. Bro, it is super fire. I think Camacho to me is definitely the most beloved, in my opinion, especially for New York. Maybe not Puerto Rico, but for this country, I don't even think it's close, bro. Like,
And I think Camacho was a better fighter.
I think he is. I think he was. I just don't think he was
Just
dedicated.
had power.
I think
And
talent wise, I don't think it's any Puerto Rican better than him. I just feel like the desire, and he had a lot of demons, bro. The guy was partying nonstop and still showing up. You know what I mean? And the documentary, they kind of broke it down. They said Camacho changed when he fought Rosario. Like that's the first time he got hit. Like he was
he
getting tagged.
barely squeaked out a victory against Rosario.
Why was there never a rematch?
Because it's like the same reason why Tank won't rematch Pitbull. It's like, I'm good. I got the victory. Fuck that.
Oh, that fight was crazy. Like I was watching the highlights of it. Rosario was a beast.
I just did a video on him too. He was no joke. He was one of the first power punching Puerto Ricans.
Bro, it's been years and there's been nothing even remotely close as a Puerto Rican fighter to Camacho. And I'm talking about in times of intangibles. I have not seen anything close. I've seen good punchers from Puerto Rico. I've seen good boxers, but I have not seen a Camacho. I've seen people try to emulate him. I think it was Jose Suarez tried to, and he went to sleep real quick in his career. Camacho was different, bro.
He had that southpaw style too.
Bro, he was, and think about it: the ring entrance, the flashy gear, that was all Camacho.
His Superman curl.
Yes, yo, bro, like all those crazy ring walks, the crazy trunks, that was Camacho. Somebody said how Camacho got more power than Trinidad. I didn't know.
At lightweight, this
At
Diesel guy must be young.
Yeah,
he must be young.
Camacho at one.
Watch Camacho at lightweight or at super featherweight. There, Diesel, and you'll see.
Bro, Camacho was. Man.
Now, I'm not saying he had more power. I think Trinidad was probably a harder puncher, but Camacho was comparable at lightweight.
Yeah, absolutely. People didn't even see him. Like when he was knocking people out, they didn't even see it coming, bro. Like it was crazy. I just wish it, and just in my heart, I wish we would have had a dedicated Camacho fighting Chavez. That kind of hurt me, man, because he fought him after Rosario. We were all. I would hear all those tales from my parents that Camacho was up on in Harlem, bugging out, doing coke.
Was no joke, too.
What?
Never
the best chin ever.
Never stopped.
Never. I think he only hit the canvas one time against Trinidad. That's it.
Yeah.
It was one time. And that was an old Camacho.
And Trinidad has allegations of plaster of Paris.
No, really?
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
I've interviewed William Joppy, who...
I remember that fight.
Who Trinidad won the middleweight crown from.
Yep,
he only held that shit for 4 months until Copkins came and snatched it. But Joppy swears that gloves were loaded. Now, obviously, he lost. Maybe that's why he's saying that.
Yeah.
but it's something to think about. I've heard it too from other avenues.
That would be crazy. I mean, why? But my thing, did he see something or he just felt it? Like, because Trinidad
I
hit
don't
hard.
remember what he said. I have an interview with him. It's old, like from 3 years ago. I don't remember what
I
he
gotta
said,
watch it.
but he said
But
something.
that's interesting. I mean, you know what's crazy? I was never a huge Trinidad fan growing up. I was never a huge.
I
Trinidad
never
fan.
liked him either.
I was a Camacho fan.
Although I remember when he fought De La Hoya, I was going for Trinidad because I felt I had a closeness to Puerto Ricans because my whole neighborhood in Hell's Kitchen was Puerto Rican mostly, or at least half of it. So I remember being like, I just want the Puerto Rican way because we got it's very few Mexicans in Hell's Kitchen or in New York, really.
You know what's crazy? I remember that fight and how big it was. I remember sitting in my grandmother's house on 49th Street in Sunset Park, right? So my grandmother had like a railroad apartment, and they would remove all of the furniture. And
I grew up in a railroad.
Yeah, you know how you got the living room and all the rooms, right? So they would they had to be like 100 people because we had the hot box, of course. So my grandfather was paying for that, and it had to be like 100 people in that living room. And I remember I was going for De La Hoya, and bro, they were giving it to me the whole time. And I remember when it got to the 12th round, everybody in the room knew he lost Trinidad. And when the decision came, they acted like it wasn't even a close fight. And I was sitting there like, bro, De La Hoya won that fight, man. I'm sorry. He should not have ran the last 3 rounds, but
De La Hoya should have won that fight. He was beating him kind of easy too.
But that's the thing that kills me about Berlanga comparing himself to somebody like Camacho or even a Trinidad. When he fought the great Mexican, people were really going. This was huge. When De La Hoya fought Trinidad, it was huge. When Camacho fought Chavez, these were the biggest fights that could be made at that time.
Yeah.
That is not a big fight to make right now. Like, that comparison is absolutely insane. I don't even think there's a big fight for a Puerto Rico-Mexican fight right now that I can think of. Period. Nah.
Yeah.
We got Xander Zayas, who's coming up in a tough division at 154, right?
Yeah.
That's our best shot right now.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But I mean, those fights were huge, bro. Like, I'm talking about as big as how Mayweather and Pacquiao was. They were that big. At least that's how I remember it.
It was big. You
know what I mean? Like, it was crazy, man. I don't know, man. Your man Berlanga's crazy, man. I heard he's from your neighborhood. What happened? But yeah, man, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. On that note, if you're free tomorrow, man, who's fighting this weekend?
Boots, which I have press passes to, but
why you not going?
I don't know, man. I might not. Philly's far from here, and I'm in the process.
August 24th. You better be there. I got you the tickets, you prick. Well, you better go.
August 24th. What was it again?
Chris Colbert fights the Grandy Twins fight.
Where?
It's gonna be at the Met in Philly.
Philly, right? Damn, more Philly. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the flyer and stuff. I was expecting you to be there, man.
I'll go for sure. That's in August. I'm moving right now, but I'll be moving by then.
We definitely gonna have a good time, man. I want to see if Chris Colbert bounces back, man. He's had a rough 2 years, man.
We'll see.
They said Marco's scared of Philly, man. That's crazy.
I'm scared of driving. Fucking. It's only supposed to be an hour and a half, wouldn't it? But that shit's always way longer.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking out for that video. Check into my man Marco. He has the best breakdowns in boxing. I definitely want to see what people think about Camacho versus Trinidad. I feel like that's gonna be a tough vote. You know what I mean? Somebody said Chris Colbert is terrible. I don't think he's terrible. I think he's talented. I just feel like, I think a lot of people question his dedication. A lot of people say he doesn't do road work and things of that nature. And you seen the last fight, he did not listen to his trainer. I got this, watch, and went to sleep. That boring's viral. So, we're going to see that. But I'll let you go, my brother.
Right,
I appreciate you.
Hit me tomorrow. Peace.
My man. That's what I'm saying. We said Boots, Marcos scared of Philly. Colbert stinks. Colbert fights the Grandy Twins fight. I'm going to start posting. I will be at that fight. I hope you guys come out. We're definitely going to be turning up in Philly. Trinidad and Camacho are great, but Cotto's overrated. Cotto is not overrated, dog. Like, you're crazy. He fought guys like Shane Mosley. He fought Mayweather. Even Mayweather. Watch what Mayweather says about him. Like, you're crazy. Miguel Cotto's one of the greatest fighters ever, dog. You are high as shit. Cobra to punch him back. Oh, my God. Anyways, on that note, guys, I am out of here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. My wife got to go shopping. I'm going to holler at y'all. We are out.